Hello students, this is Nidhi and today I welcome you to BYJU'S Classes. We are going to discuss JEE Mains 2021 25th February morning shift paper. Yes, before moving on to the solution part, let's quickly discuss what was the exam pattern which was slightly different this year as well as the analysis part. So moving on to the exam pattern, this year again the paper was online mode. It consisted of all the three subjects, maths, physics and chemistry. Total time allotted was 3 hours. But this year there was a change in type of questions. Yes, this year total questions were 90, 30 for maths, 30 for physics and 30 for chemistry. But in those 30 questions for each subject, 20 questions were from multiple choice options with single choice correct or single option correct, but 10 questions were from numerical answer type. And in those 10 questions, you have to attempt only 5. Yes, this was the first time NTA has made a paper in which there was a choice. They gave choice in the numerical answer type. Only 5 have to be attempted out of 10 questions. So that means overall only 75 questions have to be attempted in 3 hours. So this was quite similar to the last year pattern. Again, there were 75 questions to be attempted in 3 hours that year also, and this year it was same, but the choice part was new, right? So if you have problem in any particular subject and you get those kind of questions in your fill in the blanks or numerical answer type category, you can leave questions and do only 5 questions out of 10 in which you are pretty much confident about. So the distribution of marks was similar, +4 and -1 for your single choice correct, while the numerical answer type they were +4 and 0 negative marking. And overall score was same, again it was 300 marks. So moving quickly to the analysis part, let's see which chapter or which portion of maths had higher weightage and which was on the lower side this year. There was a change. Yes, this year coordinate geometry had only 5 questions, while algebra and calculus had 10 questions each. So there was a dip in number of questions which are asked in coordinate geometry in this time. Trigonometry were 2 questions, miscellaneous were 3 questions. So before going to the chapter wise distribution, let's quickly see how many questions were easy, how many were moderate and how many were difficult. So algebra had 5 questions which were easy. Coordinate had 4 out of 5 questions which were on easier side, while calculus only had 3 questions. One was from miscellaneous, which was again falling into the easy question category. Moving on further to the medium type, so there were 2 questions in algebra which were of medium category. Coordinate geometry has left 1 question which again fall into the medium question category type. Trigonometry, both the questions which were asked were of the medium level, while calculus 5 questions were there which were on the medium or let's say the moderate level type part. Miscellaneous had 2 questions again falling in the medium question category or the medium level category. Left is the difficult part or the tough part. 3 questions were there in algebra which were difficult, while 2 questions were there in calculus which were difficult. So overall it makes easy questions were 13 this time, medium questions were 12 and left 5 questions were from difficult level. That means if you actually concentrate on the easy and medium type questions also, you are going to get a pretty good score, right? Okay, so moving on further to the chapter-wise distribution, let's start quickly with the algebra part. So in algebra, there were 10 questions and the distribution was somewhat like this. 3 questions were asked from matrices and determinants this year. Yes, and of them, 2 were on the easier side and 1 was on the difficult side. 2 questions were asked from sequence and series, quadratic and PNC. And while there was no question of binomial theorem this year, or let's say in this attempt or in this shift, there was no question of binomial theorem. Moving further to the coordinate geometry part, which had 5 questions, the question distribution was somewhat like this. There were 2 questions from conics, 1 from hyperbola which was of moderate type. It was in the numerical answer type or in the fill in the blanks. 1 question was was from Parabola. Vectors and 3D had two questions, both on the easier side. There was no question of ellipse as well as circle this year in this attempt. And moving further to the trigonometry part, well, in trigonometry, there were only two questions which were obviously on the moderate level, and these two questions were from heights and distances and trigonometric inequalities. Again, no question was asked from inverse trigonometric functions. Then moving on further to the calculus part, in calculus, the distribution of questions was somewhat like this, and here in this case, application of derivatives had three questions. Yes, there were three questions asked from application of derivatives, and obviously from integral calculus, again there were three questions asked. One was from indefinite integration, and one was from definite integration, and one from area under the curves. And there was one question of limits also, no question of continuity this year. Moving further on the miscellaneous part, again there was a change this time. There was no question of statistics. Generally what happens is every attempt of JEE mains or every attempt of JEE mains involve at least one question, or let's say one question is fixed from stats to come. But this year there were two questions from probability, one from mathematical reasoning, but no question has been asked from statistics. Okay, so this was the general distribution of the questions along with the difficulty level. Moving on further to the distribution according to the classes, or let's say to the 11th and 12th standard. From 12th standard, again higher percentage of questions were asked, making it to 56%, while from 11th only 43% were asked. And generally this is more or less the weightage. Normally more questions are asked from 12th class and less number of questions are asked from 11th class, but that doesn't mean you have to leave any of the two. You have to read carefully, you have to revise, you have to study carefully, taking both 11th and 12th very seriously. Okay, so this was the overall analysis of the paper. You have already seen paper was not at all on the difficult side. It was mainly on the easy and moderate. If you actually focus on the easier and the moderate questions, you must have scored, or you will be scoring good marks. Moving on to the discussion part, let's start with the question. In this question, they have said the coefficients a, b and c of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 are obtained by throwing a dice 3 times. What is the probability that this equation has equal roots? Okay, so they have given us a quadratic equation and they have asked what is the probability for this equation to have equal roots. And one more thing they have given, that since A, B and C are the numbers which are obtained by throwing a dice 3 times, that means A, B and C can take their values from 1 to 6. Right? These are the only set of values available for A, B and C. They can grow from 1 to 6, all natural numbers. Okay, so let's quickly start with the solution part, guys. So this is what they have given to us, a quadratic ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, and these are the numbers a, b and c. Now, probability for this equation to has equal roots. So first of all, let's quickly consider what is the condition for equal roots for any quadratic. Well, we already know that for equal roots, d must be equal to 0, right? So when I do d is equal to 0, it's going to become b square minus 4ac equal to 0, further giving me b square is equal to 4ac. Clear? Now we have to think upon what values b, a and c can take. Well, if I look at this equation, b square has to be a multiple of 4. Right? It has to be divisible by 4 because it's equal to 4 multiplied by AC. So it has to be a multiple of 4, right? So what are the options for B? Well, if I look at my options available, there are 6 total options available, but from them, if I have to find my favorable cases or the favorable values which A, B and C can take, I have to start with the smallest possible of value of B, which will be equal to 2, right? B cannot be 1 because if B will be 1, B square is never a multiple of 4. Clear? So B value will be equal to 2. Now, if B is 2 and when I substitute in B square is equal to 4AC, I'm going to get 4 is equal to 4AC. That means AC is equal to 1. And if A and C again are taking values from 1 and 6, guys, what are the possible values of A and C? Well, if the product is 1, that means I can clearly say that A and C both values should be equal to 1, right? So this is one case. So here there will be only one possibility. A and C both should be equal to 1 and B is equal to 2. Clear? Okay, moving further, when I take another value of B, well, after 2 again I cannot take B as 3 because B square will become 9 again, not a multiple of 4. So the next value will be B is equal to 4. So when I put B is equal to 4, my B square value will become 16 is equal to 4 AC. In this case, AC value will be equal to 4, right? So if my AC value is 4, I can form cases over here. Can you just tell me if my A and C values are from 1 and 6, what are the possible values where AC will be equal to 4? Well, we can have A and C both equal to 2. That is one case. And we will have 2 more cases. Yes, we can have A is equal to 1, C is equal to 4, or A is equal to 4, C is equal to 1. So here overall I am having 3 cases with me. Similarly, moving further, when I put B is equal to 6, because again 5 is not at all acceptable, I am going to get 36 is equal to 4 AC. That means here my AC will be equal to 9. And if my AC value is equal to 9, there is only one possibility that A and C both should be equal to 3. So it's going to give me again one case. So if I see the total favorable cases over here are 5. So when I have to write the probability, you know the probability, it's number of favorable cases divided by the total number of cases, right? So the favorable cases are 5. What are the total number of cases possible? Well, for total number of cases, we have to consider that since my A, B and C can take values from 1 to 6, that means I'll have 6 options for A, similarly 6 options for B and 6 options for C, which is going to give me the final answer as 5 by 216. This will be the probability. Have you understood, guys? So now if we look at the options, we can say that answer is going to be D. Well, in this question, it's saying that alpha be the angle between the lines whose direction cosines satisfy the equations L plus M minus N is equal to 0 and L square plus M square minus N square is equal to 0. Then what is the value of sine alpha raised to 4 plus cos alpha raised to 4? So this question definitely was from 3D. To find the angle alpha, I have to basically solve these 2 equations and get the values of L, M and N, which are the direction cosines, right? And if I get the values of L, M and N, I have to apply the angle between 2 lines formula. I hope you can recall that part. Okay, so moving quickly to the conditions which are given to us. We know that L square plus M square plus N square is 1. This is widely known to us. I have to use this relation. So what I'll do, I'll solve first and second one. L square plus M square minus N square is equal to 0 and L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. So if I solve these 2 equations, I can say that L square plus M square is equal to N square, and this I'll substitute in the summation part. So when I do this, I'm going to get 2n square is equal to 1, which is going to give me the value of n, right? So the value of n from here will be plus minus 1 by root 2. And now this value I'll use in this relation L plus M is equal to N, which they have already given to us in the question. So let's consider one value, right? I'm going to take, let's say N is equal to 1 by root 2. So when my n is 1 by root 2, I have one condition that L plus m should be equal to 1 by root 2. And another condition is there that L square plus m square is equal to n square. And in place of n square, I can put 1 by 2. So I have two equations in L and m, and obviously this is very easy to solve and get the values of L and m, right? So here what I'm going to do, I'm squaring this equation. It's going to give me L square plus m square plus 2lm is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, so this is what we have got. So let me take this as third and this as fourth equation. So from third and fourth, what can we say? Well, from third and fourth, we can say that this lm part, 2lm has to be equal to 0, right? And if that is the case, that means it's going to give me either L is 0 or m is 0. So if my L is 0, I can say that my m value will be equal to 1 by root 2. From this condition, L plus m is equal to 1 by root 2. If my L is 0, m has to be 1 by root 2. And here n is 1 by root 2. Similarly, I'll have one more case. When my m is 0, my L has to be 1 by root 2 and my n again is 1 by root 2. So that means to apply the angle between lines, what are my direction cosines now? Well, my direction cosines are one is 0, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 and another one is 1 by root 2, 0 and 1 by root 2. I hope you can recall what was the angle between these two lines. Well, we can clearly say that cos alpha will be equal to L1, L2, which will become 0, plus M1, M2 again will be 0, plus N1, N2 will be equal to 1 by 2. So that is going to give me cos alpha as half. That means my sin alpha value will be equal to root over 3 by 2. Isn't it? And if these two values are known to me, we can actually find the answer. They have asked us the value of sin alpha raised to 4 plus cos alpha raised to 4. So when I substitute the values of sin alpha and cos alpha, quickly we can calculate this part. It's going to be 9 divided by 16 plus 1 divided by 16, that is equal to 10 by 16, or further can be written as 5 by 8. So this will be the answer for this question. Have you understood? This was on an easier side, I would say. You have to solve the equations and you have to remember this second condition that L square plus m square plus n square is always equal to 1. Rest was just you have to solve the simultaneous equations to get the values of L, m and n. And we can say the correct option here will be C. Well, the next is from indefinite integral and this question was on a difficult side. Yes, it was same as the question they have asked in previous year but in JEE Advanced. Okay, so but we don't have to panic. I'll tell you how to solve this question. So I have some terms over here. Let's start with the solution part. What we are going to do, first of all, you know the formula. 1 minus cos 2 theta can be written as 2 sine square theta, right? And similarly, sine 2 theta can be written as 2 sine theta cos theta. So here you can clearly see that if I convert sine 2 theta and cos 2 theta into half angles, I'll get an expression like this. And again, 2 sine square theta is going to get cancelled out. Now in this, I can see 1 cos theta and rest of the terms are in terms of sine. So that means I can assume sine theta as something. If I do that, my cos theta d theta is going to convert into the derivative of that part, right? So let's take sine theta as t, cos theta d theta definitely is going to become dt. So when I substitute sine theta as t over here, my cos theta d theta is dt. I'll get an expression like this. Now what? Well, now comes the question how to approach after this. This you might have done in the paper also. After this, what we are going to do? Well, there is only one way, right? You cannot integrate this directly. That means what? That you should have a term and its derivative written over here. So that if you assume the term as some variables, the derivative again can be written in terms of the derivative of that another part or variables part. So if I consider 2t raised to 4 plus 3t square plus 6 as something. Do I get its derivative like this? Well, that is not going to happen. So what should we think over here is, let's do one thing. Here I have t raised to 6. Its derivative is going to become t raised to 5. But what I have is t raised to 4, right? So I'll go in the reverse direction. Let me take t common from here. So when I take t common from here, it's going to become t raised to 5 plus t cube plus t. Then I have t and a under root, that is having 2t raised to 4 plus 3t square plus 6 dt. Clear? Now what? Well, now I'll take this t inside the square root. So when I take it inside the square root, it will go inside the square root, it will go as t square. So it's going to become integral of t raised to 5 plus t cube plus t multiplied by, in root over, you are going to get 2t raised to 6 plus 3t raised to 4 plus 6t squared. This was the approach which was used at that time also when a similar question was asked in JEE Advanced. So guys, that tells us one thing. We have to keep on revising the past year papers also, right? Both from JEE Mains as well as JEE Advanced. So this, now what we are going to do? Now if you look at the root over term, the term which is written inside the square root, if I take this term as u, can you quickly write down what will be its derivative? Well, if I take the term inside the square root as u, we know that its derivative is going to become 12 times of t raised to 5 plus t cube plus t. This is going to be the derivative, and bingo, we have this term already with us. T raised to 5 plus t cube plus t. So this is going to become dt is equal to du, and when I substitute this, it will become somewhat like integral of root over u du divided by 12. So 1 by 12, the constant I'm taking outside. Now quickly we can write what is the integral of root u. Well, root u integral will be u raised to 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. And I have one more term, 12 plus some constant c. And it is further written as u raised to 3 by 2 divided by, this is going to become 18, right? Plus some constant c. Now in place of u, what we are going to substitute? In terms of t, 2t raised to 6 plus 3t raised to 4 plus 6t square. And obviously in place of t, we can directly substitute sine theta. So finally, I'll have this expression with me. I'll get 2 sine theta raised to 6 plus 3 sine theta raised to 4 plus 6 sine square theta whole raised to 3 by 2 multiplied by the constant 1 by 18 plus c. Clear? But they haven't given any option which has this term. That means I have to convert this integral in terms of cos theta, because they have given some options in terms of cos theta also. Now, how can I do that? Well, you know that I can take sine square theta common from this. So when I do that, it's going to become 1 by 18, and I'll have sine square theta multiplied by 2 sine theta raised to 4 plus 3 sine square theta plus 6 whole raised to 3 by 2, right? And then I have plus c also. Now I'll write sine square theta in terms of cos square theta. Sine square theta definitely can be written as 1 minus cos square theta, isn't it? So when I substitute this, I'll get this term. And now I have to just expand and, simplify this part. So let's quickly do that also. So it will be 1 by 18 multiplied by, the first term will be same, 1 minus cos square theta, while this term, when I expand the entire term, it's going to become 2 multiplied by 1 minus cos square theta whole square, which is going to become 1 plus cos theta raised to 4 minus 2 cos square theta, right? Then I'll have plus 3 multiplied by 1 minus cos square theta, which is 3 minus 3 cos square theta plus 6 whole raised to 3 by 2 and plus c. Clear? Okay, and now we are going to combine the terms. So when I combine the terms inside the bracket, it's going to be 1 minus cos square theta multiplied by, I'll have 2 cos theta raised to 4. Then I'll have minus 4 cos square theta minus 3 cos square theta, that is minus 7 cos square theta, and the constant term is going to become 2 plus 3 plus 6, which is going to become 11. Whole raised to, I'll have 3 by 2 plus c. Clear? Okay, so this is what I'll have. And now again I have to multiply, because in options they have multiplied the entire term. So when I multiply these terms, I'm going to get the first term as minus 2 cos theta raised to 6. That will be the first term, right? When I multiply cos square theta and 2 cos theta raised to 4. Then I'll have 1 into 2 cos theta raised to 4. And then I'll have minus cos square theta minus 7 cos square theta. Again is going to give me plus 7 cos theta raised to 4. So combining these two terms, I'm going to get 9 cos theta raised to 4. Then comes my cos square theta term. So I'll have minus cos square theta into 11, that is minus 11 cos square theta, and minus 7 cos square theta into 1, which is minus 7 cos square theta. On combining, it's going to become minus 18 cos square theta, and the constant left will be 11. This whole raised to 3 by 2 plus c. This will be the final answer, and you can clearly see the question was on difficult side as well as a bit lengthier. You have to first find the answer in terms of sine theta, then you have to go on converting into cos theta. So again, if time permits, you can go by this question. If not, attempt rest of the questions where there is a chance to score marks. And looking at the options, we know the right answer is going to be C. Well, this question was from heights and distances. They are saying that a man is standing at the top of a tower and observes a boat speeding towards the tower from a certain point A with uniform speed. At the point A, angle of depression is 30 degrees. After sailing for 20 seconds towards the base of the tower, the boat has reached at a point B where the angle of depression is 45 degrees. Then what is the time taken by the boat from point B to reach to the base of the tower? They have given us options over here. Now guys, again, let me tell you one thing. This question was on the similar kind which was asked earlier. Yes, in the previous JEE Mains paper, in the previous JEE Main exam. So again, I'll put emphasis on please revise the past year questions also. It's very important to revise, because if you actually come around a question which you have already read somewhere or solved somewhere, that is going to boost up your confidence. Yes, a notch higher, and that will again make you solve the paper in a confident way, in a more confident way, and you can see that the way you actually attempt the paper has improved. Right? You can solve more and more questions because the questions which you have found somewhere are on the same side which you have solved earlier. Clear? Okay, so please go through the past year questions paper, solve them, and then only you should go for your final exam. So in this question, let's say the tower on the which the man is standing or is having a height h. There is a point A, the angle of depression here is 30 degrees. Then if I take the speed of the boat as v, because it's constant or uniform, I can say that in 20 seconds it's going to travel 20 v distance, right? Then it's going to reach at point B where the angle is going to become 45 degree. They have asked what the time it's going to take from B to reach till this bottom of the tower, let's say the foot of the tower. So let us take the time as t. So that means the distance from B point to F point will become V into t. So here we'll have two right angled triangles. We have to apply tan theta formula. That's it. Nothing more you have to do here. So considering my first triangle A, F, and let's take the point as P, the top of the tower. So I have my triangle AFP. In this, when I apply my tan 30 degree, I can say that it will be equal to perpendicular PF divided by base, that is AF. So it's H divided by T times of 20V plus VT, which further can be written as 1 by root 3 is equal to h divided by v times of 20 plus t. Let me take this as my first equation. And I have one more triangle with me. Yes, now we'll apply the same kind of conditions in triangle PFB. So in triangle PFB, again, if I apply tan 45 degrees, let's quickly see what do we get. The perpendicular PF, that is equal to H, while the base BF is nothing but VT. And we know that tan 45 degrees 1, that means my V into T will be equal to H. Let me take this as my second equation. So my first equation can also be written as V times of 20 plus T is equal to root 3H. Isn't it, when I cross multiply? And now I'm going to divide these two conditions. Why am I dividing? Because I need only time. I have to eliminate the h, I have to eliminate the speed, that is v. So I'll just divide. So when I divide these two equations, I'm going to get t divided by 20 plus t is equal to 1 by root 3, which on cross multiplication is going to give me root 3t is equal to 20 plus t. Right? So from here, if I write my t, it can be written as 20 divided by root 3 minus 1. This is not given to me in the options. That means I have to rationalize this. So you know how to rationalize. You have to multiply by its conjugate in numerator as well as in denominator, which is nothing but root 3 plus 1. Finally, when you actually solve this out, it's going to become 20 multiplied by root 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 minus 1 into root 3 plus 1. Here we can apply a square minus b square. So the value which comes out is 2. So this is divided by 2. Or I can say that my final answer of time is going to become 10 multiplied by root 3 plus 1. So this is the final answer. And the question again was not on the difficult side, right? You have to just apply the tan theta in the two triangles and solve to eliminate h and v. Clear? So the right option will be D in this case. Well, this question is from sequence and series, and here they have given us three different terms. Theta and phi are two angles lying between 0 to pi by 2. X is summation of cos theta raised to 2n. N varying from 0 to infinity. Y is summation of sine phi raised to 2n. Again, n varying from 0 to infinity. Similar basis, I have Z, which is summation of cos theta raised to 2n multiplied by sine phi raised to 2n. What they have asked is relation between x, y and z. Okay, so if I actually look upon my x term and I substitute the values of n, what the sequence is going to come out as? Well, you are right, it's going to come out as a GP, and till infinite GP, that means its summation formula is known to me. So quickly putting the values, I'm going to get x is equal to 1 plus cos square theta plus cos theta raised to 4 till infinity. The summation of GP till infinite is A, that is 1 upon 1 minus R. R is cos square theta. So from here, I'm going to find 1 minus cos square theta, that is equal to 1 by x. That means my cos square theta value is going to become as 1 minus 1 by x or x minus 1 by x. Understood? Perfect. Similarly, my y again is summation of GP. When I put the values of n, it's going to become 1 plus sine square phi plus sine phi raised to 4 and so on again till infinity. That means here also I can apply the GP summation, which is A upon 1 minus R. So when I do that, I'm going to get y is equal to 1 upon 1 minus sine square phi. Now we'll do the same trick. We'll find the value of sine square phi from here. Why we are finding the values of cos square theta and sine square phi, I'll just tell you in a minute. So my sine square phi value actually will come out as, on the similar basis, it will be 1 minus 1 by y, or it can be written as y minus 1 by y. Now, if I write my z is nothing but, when I put n as 0, it's 1. Then n as 1 is going to give me cos square theta multiplied by sine square phi. Clear? Then I'll have one more term, Well, that term is going to become cos theta raised to 4 sine theta raised to 5, and it will go on further till infinity. So again, this is summation of infinite GP. That means my Z value is A, that is 1 upon 1 minus R, which is cos square theta sine square phi. Now have you understood? We need cos square theta and sine square phi in terms of x and y. So when I substitute these values in this, it's going to become 1 upon 1 minus. When I put the value of cos square theta, it's going to become x minus 1 divided by x, and it's going to become y minus 1 divided by y. So when I take the LCM over here, I'll get z is equal to xy divided by xy minus x minus y plus 1. Is it clear? So from here I can say that my z is equal to xy overall is divided by x plus y minus 1. And when I cross multiply, I'm actually going to get the answer. It is going to become x plus y multiplied by z minus z is equal to xy. If we can take the z on to the right hand side, it's finally going to be as x plus y multiplied by z is equal to xy plus z. This is what they have given to us in the option. So I'll put this in moderate category. It's not difficult, but yeah, obviously you have to think about substituting the values of cos square theta and sine square phi in this z. The rest is only the simplification part. Clear? Okay, so now the right option which they have given to us in the question will be D. Well, let's move on further to this question. It's saying equation of line through the point 0, 1, 2 and perpendicular to another line whose equation is x minus 1 by 2 is equal to y plus 1 by 3 is equal to z minus 1 by minus 2. So I have a line. I have to find equation of line perpendicular to it, and it's passing through point 0, 1, 2. Let me take the line as L dash. Now, line L equation is given to me. Now, guys, tell me one thing. What do you need to write equation of line? Well, if you have to write that in 3D form, you need a point which is given to us, which is 0, 1 and 2, 0, 1, 2. One more thing is needed, which is direction ratio, or I can say the parallel vector, right? That means I have to find this direction ratio of L dash. How are we going to do this? Well, they have mentioned that these two lines are perpendicular. That means I have to use the condition of perpendicularity. Let's see how are we going to use this in this question. I have my given line. So I'm taking a point on this line. So to write the point, I'm equating this to lambda. So when I do that, I'm getting a point as 2 lambda plus 1, comma 3 lambda minus 1, comma minus 2 lambda plus 1. This is my point on this given line. Let me take that as B. Now what? Well, we already know that for this line, my parallel vector or the direction ratio will be 2, 3 and minus 2. Isn't it? So this is one more thing given to us. Then I have to find or let's say a perpendicular line passing through the point A, which is 0, 1, 2. How are we going to do this? Well, now we are going to apply the condition of perpendicular lines. I have AB vector or the direction ratio of AB segment that can be written, right? I have A, I have B. Definitely I can write the direction ratio of AB. I have the direction ratio of the line L, which is given to me. That is 2, 3, minus 2. So if I have two lines which are perpendicular, that means vectors along those two will be perpendicular, right? And if the vectors are perpendicular, we know that their dot will be 0. This is the condition, guys. Dot product should be 0 of the vectors. Here, what they have given us is the direction ratios. So we'll quickly write the direction ratio of AB also. So I can say that my direction ratio of AB is going to become, what you have to do? Well, we have to subtract x coordinates, similarly the y coordinate as well as the z coordinate. So when I do that, it's going to become 2 lambda plus 1 minus 0, 3 lambda minus 1 minus 1, minus 2 lambda plus 1 minus 2, which can be further written as 2 lambda plus 1, 3 lambda minus 2, minus 2 lambda minus 1. This is direction ratio of AB. And now I know that L and AB, or L dash, let's say, are perpendicular to each other. That means product of these two direction ratios should be 0. So that is going to give me the value of lambda, right? If I have my lambda, I can definitely get my point B. And if I have my point B, I have A with me, I have its direction ratio, I can write the equation of line. Simple, right? Okay, so quickly taking the dot product, I can say 2 multiplied by 2 lambda plus 1 plus 3 multiplied by 3 lambda minus 2 minus 2 multiplied by minus 2 lambda minus 1 is equal to 0. And quickly on solving, we are going to get 4 lambda plus 9 lambda plus 4 lambda. That is 8 plus 9, 17 lambda. Then I'll have plus 2 minus 6 plus 2 is equal to 0. That means value of lambda is 2 by 17. Right? So if my value of lambda is 2 by 17, I can substitute this value of lambda in the direction ratio of AB directly. So I can say that when I substitute, the direction ratio of AB is going to become 2 into lambda, that is 2 by 17 plus 1, comma 3 into lambda, that is 2 by 17 minus 2. Then I have minus 1 minus 2 into lambda, that is 2 by 17. So when I actually solve this, the first term is going to become 4 by 17 plus 1, that is 21 by 17, right? So it's going to come out as 21 by 17. Similarly, the second term will be 6 by 17 minus 2. When I take the LCM over here, it's 6 minus 34. That is going to become minus 28 by 17. And the last term is minus 1 minus 4 by 17, which is going to become minus 21 by 17. So these are the direction ratios. Or you can also say that direction ratio will come out as the ratio of 21 by 17 minus 28 by 17 and minus 21 by 17 will be 3 minus 4 minus 3, or I can say it can be written as minus 3, 4 and 3. Either way is correct. So these are the direction ratios, and now I have to write the equation of AB, or the line L dash with me. I have the point. So that means my final answer is going to become x minus 0 upon minus 3 is equal to y minus 1 upon 4 is equal to z minus 2 upon 3. This will be the final equation of AB or L dash, or the line which is perpendicular to the given line L and passing through the point A. Is this clear? Have you understood how can you find the equation of perpendicular line? Perfect. And the correct option therefore is going to become A. Well, this is from mathematical reasoning. They have said the statement A implies B implies A is equivalent to which of these four options? Okay, so that means what I'm going to do over here is I'll first try to simplify this part and then I'll go by options, right? Okay, so we know already that whenever I write P implies Q, this can be written as negation P or Q, right? I hope you remember this part. You can go by Venn diagram also, but here I'm going to simplify this part for you. So it's going to become negation A, or similarly B implies A can be written as negation B or A. And now I'll just write this as negation A or negation B, right? By the associative law, I can write it like this. So therefore, what is negation of A or A is my next question. What is negation of A or A? Well, we know that this is always going to be true, or a tautology, isn't it? So I have a true statement or a tautology, and then I have or negation of B. So this is going to give me again a tautology. So that means this statement is always a tautology, and now I have to go for the options which they have given to us. Clear? Okay, so this we have seen that this is a tautology. Let's start with option A. So my option A is given to me as A implies A and B. This can be written as negation A or A and B, right? Now when I distribute this, it's going to become negation A or A, and then I'll have and negation A or B. Clear? So negation A or A definitely is my tautology, and then I have and another statement, negation A or B. And if I take T and some statement, this is going to be this statement again, that is negation A or B. But I needed tautology. That means my A option cannot be correct. Moving on to the B option. My B option is A implies A or B. I guess this can be the answer. Let's quickly write down. A implies A or B can be written as negation A or B. Again, using the associative law, this can be written as negation A or A, and I have or B, right? Now, I have again a tautology or B, which is going to give me again a tautology. That means my B option has to be the right one. So quickly we can mark the answer that it is going to be B. Clear? But suppose if you have to check for other options also, my option C is A implies B. So this can be written as negation A. This can be written as negation A or negation A or B. So this is going to be negation A or B itself, right? Again, not matching with my tautology part. Coming to my D option has A implies A, double implication B. So it's going to be negation A, or I'll have A double implication B can be written as negation A or B and negation B or A. Clear? Okay, so this can be written as negation A or B, and then I'll have one more thing, negation A or negation B or A. I have used distributive law. Clear? So the first part here is going to give me negation A or B, right? While my second part will be negation A or A. Well, that will be a tautology, and tautology or negation B is going to become tautology. And when I take tautology and with one statement, it's finally going to give me that statement, that is negation A or B. So again, this is not equal to the tautology part. That means finally I can say that my answer will become option B. Understood? Perfect. Now, as we have already seen that some topics cannot be left behind, like mathematical reasoning, which they asked, and the question was pretty simple from the mathematical reasoning part, like we have just seen. Similar question is this, which is from quadratic equation. Again, a question which cannot be left. It's very simple question based upon the basics which you have already learned. The question is saying, what is the integer k for which the inequality x square minus twice of 3k minus 1x plus 8k square minus 7 is always greater than 0. This inequality is valid for all x belongs to R. That means I have a quadratic which is always positive. So the graph of quadratic has to be above x-axis, isn't it? So if the graph is above x-axis, that means what I can say, that definitely my coefficient of x square, which is 1 in this case, is positive. Another condition is what? That d is less than 0. This is what you have to apply here. Solve for k and then you can directly mark the answer. So let's start with the solution part. We have already seen that we can apply the condition d is less than 0. So when I do that, it's going to become b square, that is 4 times of 3k minus 1 whole square, minus 4ac, that is 8k square minus 7 less than 0. So this 4 definitely is going to get cancelled out, and I'm just expanding. So it's going to become 9k square minus 6k plus 1 minus 8k square plus 7 less than 0. Finally, it's going to become k square minus 6k plus 8 less than 0. You already know what are the factors. What are the factors? Well, it's k minus 4 and k minus 2. So it's going to be k minus 4, k minus 2 less than 0, which is going to give me that k is lying from 2 to 4. And what have they asked? Integer value of k which satisfies this. So between 2 to 4, both the values are not allowed. There is only one integer value of k which is possible, that is 3. So this will be the answer for the question. And if we go for the options, we can say that A will be the right choice. Well, next question is from conic sections, and that too from parabola. The question is saying tangent is drawn to the parabola y square is equal to 6x, which is perpendicular to the line 2x plus y is equal to 1. Which of the following points does not lie on it? So they have given us 4 points. I have to check that which of these 4 points does not lie on the tangent. That means I have to definitely find equation of tangent, right? And they have given me one condition, that tangent is perpendicular to the line L. So that means if I can get the slope of line L, I can get the slope of tangent. The slope of line L is minus 2. That means we can quickly work out what the slope of tangent will be. So the slope of tangent is going to be 1 by 2, isn't it? And how we are doing this? Because if the lines are perpendicular, the condition is that product of their slopes m1 into m2 will be equal to minus 1, right? So we have got the slope of tangent. Now what? How can we write the equation of tangent? Well, let's see how we can move further. We have got the slope of tangent as 1 by 2. Now there are two things which you can do here. If you remember the slope form of tangent to the parabola, which I hope you should remember, guys, all the formulas are very important. They actually increase your speed, and you can directly apply the formula. You don't have to derive it also. And suppose if you don't remember the slope form of tangent, you can always go by derivatives, which is again a way to solve questions of this kind. But since I hope you remember the formula of equation of tangent in slope form to the parabola y square is equal to 6x. If I have my standard parabola y square is equal to 4ax, on comparing this with the given equation, I can say that my 4a value is 6 or my a value is 3 by 2. Right? And the equation of tangent is y is equal to mx plus a by m. So when I apply that, I'm going to get y is equal to m. That is 1 by 2x plus a. That is 3 by 2 divided by 1 by 2. That means my equation will be y is equal to x by 2 plus 3. So this is the equation of tangent. And now what we have to do? We have to just check what all of these 4 points which does not satisfy this equation of tangent. So coming on to the first point, my A option is 0, 3, which you can definitely check it's lying on this. My B option is minus 6, 0, again lying on the tangent. My C option is 4, 5, which is again lying on the tangent. But my D option, which is 5, 4, if I substitute in the equation, is 4 is equal to 5 by 2 plus 3, guys. Well, the answer is no. That means my D option is not going to lie on the equation of tangent, which we have just written. Clear? Okay, so the answer for the question is D. And what the question level is? Easy. I would say it falls in easy to moderate level. If you remember the equation of tangent, then it will be on the easier side. If you don't, definitely either you have to use application of derivatives or derive this equation. Clear? Perfect. The question says, let f and g defined from natural to natural such that f of n plus 1 is equal to f of n plus f of 1 for all n belongs to natural number, and G, they have said that it's an arbitrary function, then which of the following is not true? Now guys, always remember, when you read the question, you should make sure that you're reading it correctly, and accordingly you have to mark the answer. If the question is asking not true, please don't mark the answer which is true, which mostly happens with some students. I'm not saying all. So the question is saying which of the options which they have given to us is not true. Okay, so that means I have to solve first for the function f, and then accordingly I'll check the options, right? Perfect. So let's start with the solution part. Now, this is question of functions. You might involve some functional equation, but here the basic step, and it's pretty simple, is when you start putting the values of n. Suppose you start from n is equal to 1. So when I put n is equal to 1 in the given functional equation, I'm going to get f of 2 is equal to twice of f of 1, right? Okay, so that means if my f of 1 is some integer, f of 2 will be twice of that. Clear? Further, putting more values, let's say n as 2, I'm going to get f of 3 is equal to f of 2 plus f of 1. That is going to be 2f of 1 plus f of 1. So that means my f of 3 actually comes out as 3 times of f of 1. Are we observing a pattern here? Well, let's check for one more value. Let me put n as 3. So when I do that, I'm going to get f of 4 is equal to f of 3 plus f of 1. And here, when I substitute the value of f of 3, it's going to become 4 times of f of 1. That means we have got the pattern, isn't it? Directly what I can say is that my f of n will be equal to n times f of 1. Simple as that. Clear? So if my f of n is n times f of 1, if my f of 1 is having some value, let's say, for example, I'm taking, let's say my f of 1 is 2, for example. So that means my f of 2 will be equal to twice of that, that is 4. My f of 3 will be equal to thrice of that, that is 6. My f of n will be equal to 2n. So is my function 1, 1 or many 1, guys? Well, when I equate or when I see basically for one value of x, I'll get only one value of y. Right? So definitely my function has to be 1, 1. So this one is true. We have to find which of the following is not true. Clear? Okay, moving further, the second option says if fog is 1, 1, then g is 1, 1. Okay, so that means here I have to find f of gx. Okay, so from here, if my fn is n times f of 1, can I also say that my fx will be equal to x times of f of 1, right? And if this is the case, I can further say that my f of gx will be equal to gx times of f of 1. Simple as that. So if my fog is 1, 1, what do you mean by 1, 1 functions? Well, 1, 1 function says that for one value of x, you should get only one value of y. That means I'm having, or let me say in another words, 1, 1 function is that for one value of y, you should have correspondingly only one value of x, right? You cannot have one value of y corresponding to or leading to two values of x. So whenever I write f of g of x1 is equal to f of g of x2, it should give me that x1 is equal to x2 only. This is the condition, right? For my function to be 1, 1. So if my f of gx is 1, 1, when I put my f of gx value as gx into f of 1, I'm going to get my g of x1 into f of 1 is equal to my g of x2 into f of 1. And from here, I'm getting that my g of x1 is equal to g of x2, and definitely it should always imply x1 is equal to x2, because that is what is given to us when f of gx was a 1, 1 function, right? So that means I can say that my g of x1 will be only equal to g of x2 when x1 is equal to x2. That means my second option is also true. Similarly, if I move on to my third option says that if g is onto, then f of gx is 1, 1. Well, if my g is onto, then I might have a case when my f of g will become many one. So that means this will not be true. And if I go to my D option, it's saying that if my f is onto, then f of n is equal to n. Well, if f is onto, that means the range and codomain should be equal, right? So whenever I write my f of n is equal to n times f of 1 and I have to make this function as onto, that means I have to give f of 1 the smallest value possible, because then the values will keep on increasing, right? So in natural numbers, do I have a smallest value? Yes, I do. I have to put here f of 1 as 1. When I put f of 1 as 1, my f of 2 value will become 2, my f of 3 value will become 3, my f of 4 will become 4. That means I can obviously say that my f of n will be equal to n, right? So that means my D option is also correct. So the not true statement will be C. Have you understood, guys? Perfect. And the final answer is with us. That is C option. Well, moving further, this question is saying, let the lines 2 minus iota z is equal to 2 plus iota z bar. A question of complex number. And there's one more line, 2 plus iota z plus iota minus 2 times of z bar minus 4 iota equal to 0. Be normal to a circle. So they have given two normals to the circle C. Further, they have said if the line iota z plus z bar plus 1 plus iota equal to 0 is tangent to the circle, what is the radius? Okay, so there is a circle and two normals are given to us. What are the normals? Well, normals are the lines which are diameters definitely passing through center. So if I get equation of these two normals, let's say they have given this in complex form. If I solve these two equations, I'll definitely get the center. And if I have the center, I have the tangent, I can definitely write perpendicular distance from center to the tangent, which is going to be equal to the radius, right? So I have to definitely find two things here. First, the center by solving the normals, and then the perpendicular distance from center to the tangent, which is going to be the answer for the question. Clear? I'll put this question in a difficult category. Why? Because we generally either have to apply the formula of actually point or distance of a point, which is in complex form, to the line which is again in complex form, which again is difficult. You might not remember the formula when you attempt the paper. Or what you can do is you will convert the lines in your Cartesian form. Well, that is our savior. Whenever we have questions like this, they have given us equation of lines in complex form, we can directly convert this into Cartesian form. And how do we do this? Well, there is only one thing to say. Z can be taken as x plus iota y. Z bar definitely will be equal to x minus iota y. So I'm just going to substitute this. This again will be a bit lengthy question as compared to the normal questions which they ask in JEE mains. So substituting the values of z, let's say I have my first line L1. When I substitute, it's going to become somewhat like this. So quickly we are going to simplify this, right? When we simplify, we'll just multiply. It's going to become 2x minus iota x plus 2 iota y, and then I'll have minus iota square y, which is definitely y, because iota square is minus 1, right? On my right hand side, I'm going to have 2x plus iota x minus 2 iota y, and then again minus iota square y, that is plus y. And you can clearly see that 2x and y are cancelling on the both sides. So when I cancel the iota part also, I'm going to get final answer as x, or let's say 2x minus 4y is equal to 0. I can say it can be written as x minus 2y is equal to 0. This is my first normal. Clear? Similarly, in L2, again, when I substitute z as x plus iota y and z bar as x minus iota y, I get this. And now I'll just simplify this part also. So it's going to be when I multiply 2x plus iota x plus 2 iota y minus y, and then I'll have plus iota x minus 2x plus 2 iota y plus y minus 4 iota is equal to 0, right? So again, my 2x is getting cancelled out and my y is also getting cancelled out. So I have iota times of 2x plus 4y minus 4 is equal to 0, or I can say that my normal 2 will have the equation x plus 2y minus 2 is equal to 0. So now I have the two normals in Cartesian form. I have two lines. Definitely I can solve to get the center, right? So quickly solving these two and let's find the center. So I'll substitute x is equal to 2y in my equation of L2. So it's going to become 4y minus 2 is equal to 0. That means my y value is 1 by 2. And this, if I put in either L1 or L2, I'm going to get x is equal to 1. So that means I have my center for the circle as 1 comma 1 by 2. Now to get the radius, I have to just write first the equation of tangent and then find the perpendicular distance, right? So tangent, again, I'm going to convert in the Cartesian form. So I have my tangent, which is iota z plus z bar plus 1 plus iota. I'll just put my z and z bar in Cartesian form. So it's going to become iota times of x plus iota y plus x minus iota y plus 1 plus iota is equal to 0. Now here when I collect the terms of iota, it's going to be x minus y plus 1 and rest of the term again will be x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So that means you can finally say that the tangent equation will become x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. And now to get the radius, I have to write distance of center to this tangent. I have to apply the perpendicular distance formula, which you can do, right? So when I do that, it's going to become 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 divided by root over a square plus b square, that is root 2. Finally, it's coming out as 3 by 2 root 2. This will be the radius for the circle which they have asked and the final answer. Have you understood? So guys, remember, whenever they give you a certain curve which is in my complex form, you have to, or you can convert that into Cartesian form, because in Cartesian form we know the formulas, right? So you can convert that in Cartesian form by using the substitution z is equal to x plus iota y and z bar is equal to x minus iota y. That's it. Just simplify that part and no need to worry. The rest of the parts you have already read in coordinate geometry or in conic sections. Clear? Okay, so when we look at the options, we can say that answer will be C. Well, the next question is from trigonometric inequalities. Let's see what the question is saying. You have to find values of theta between 0 to 2 pi, for which sine 2 theta plus tan 2 theta is always greater than 0. Okay, so how are we going to solve this out? Well, there are many ways, but the easiest way will be to convert tan in terms of sine and cos and then directly take the LCM. So when I do that, I'm going to get sine 2 theta plus sine 2 theta divided by cos 2 theta greater than 0, right? So when I take LCM and I take sine 2 theta common, it's going to become 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by cos 2 theta greater than 0, which further can be written as tan 2 theta multiplied by, guys, what is 1 plus cos 2 theta? Well, this is 2 cos square theta, right? So it's going to become 2 cos square theta greater than 0. And from here, I can directly say that tan 2 theta has to be greater than 0. Because 2 cos square theta is always greater than 0, but we have to eliminate the cases when cos theta is equal to 0. Well, that is the one thing you have to remember. Cos theta cannot be equal to 0, because if that becomes 0, this entire thing will not be valid. You'll get 0 greater than 0, which is not at all true. So all the answers or all the values you have to take should include that cos theta is non-zero. Clear? Okay. Now I have to just write down the values of 2 theta for which my tan is positive. So this can be done again by two ways. Either you write the values of 2 theta or you can go by graph. If suppose we write the values of 2 theta, we know tan is positive when it is either, when your angle is either in first or in third quadrant. So I can say that my 2 theta value will definitely lie between 0 to pi by 2 or pi to 3 pi by 2. Further, if you rotate once more, it's going to become union of, again you are going to get 2 pi to 5 pi by 2, or one more value which is going to come will become 3 pi to 7 pi by 2, right? And from here we can clearly say that my theta, which was lying from 0 to 2 pi, can come in range of 0 to pi by 4 union pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4 union pi to 5 pi by 4 or 3 pi by 2 to 7 pi by 4. These are the acceptable values of theta. Clear? And you can clearly see that in these possible ranges, cos theta will never be equal to 0. Clear? Now, you can also solve this by graph. We can clearly plot the graph of tan 2 theta. You know the graph of tan theta. Well, this is 0. This will be pi by 2. Then I have my another value 3 pi by 2. This is the possible graph of tan theta, right? But for tan 2 theta, the values on x-axis will get divided by 2. Clear? So when I plot for tan 2 theta, I'll have the set of values as pi by 4, then 3 pi by 4 and so on, and graph will go somewhat like this, between 0 to pi by 4, then between pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4 it will go like this, and it will go on further. So here again you can see that tan 2 theta will be positive either when theta is lying from 0 to pi by 4 or from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4, and further it will go on from pi to 5 pi by 4 by an interval of pi by 4, and then 3 pi by 2 to 7 pi by 4. Clear? So this will be the final answer or the values of theta. And the right option from which they have given to us, we can say B will be the one. Well, the next question is from straight lines, and guys, trust me, it is a very easy question. The question says image of the point 3, 5 in the line x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0 lies on which of these four curves? So you have to just find image of point about the line. How are we going to do this? Well, there is one thing. If you remember the formula, you can apply the formula. If you do not remember the formula, what you can do is, this is my line, let us say L, having the equation x minus y plus 1 equal to 0, right? I have my point here, let's say that point is P, whose coordinate is 3, 5. I have to find its image, let's say this is P dash. So I'll take this P dash as A, B. And I can say that its midpoint definitely is going to lie on the line. So that means midpoint of P and P dash, that is A plus 3 by 2, comma B plus 5 by 2 should lie on the line L. Isn't it? So I can satisfy that. So I'll get one condition, A plus 3 by 2 minus B plus 5 by 2 plus 1 is equal to 0. Let me take this as 1. And I have one more condition, that my line P dash is perpendicular to the line L. What does that mean? That means that M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1, right? So I can write slope of P and P dash, that is 5 minus B upon 3 minus A, multiplied by the slope of line, that is 1 is equal to 0. Is equal to minus 1. So solving 1 and 2, you'll get your image of point 3, 5. Clear? And then you can check the options. Or suppose if you don't want to go like this, you can directly apply the formula. I hope you remember what the formula is. It says x minus x1, which is 3 in this case, divided by coefficient of x in the line, which is A, that is 1, is equal to y minus y1, which is 5, divided by coefficient of y, which is minus 1 for us. And then I'll have minus twice of ax1 plus by1 plus c. That means I'm going to substitute point in the line. So it's going to be 3 minus 5 plus 1 divided by a square plus b square, which is going to become 1 plus 1. So this value becomes minus 2 multiplied by minus 1 by 2. The value is actually nothing but 1, right? So that means if my x minus 3 is 1, my x value is 4. Similarly, my y minus 5 upon minus 1 is 1. That means my y value is again 4. So my image is having coordinates 4, 4, and I'll just substitute in the options and check. So if I check for my A option, it's going to become 4 minus 2 whole square plus 4 minus 4 whole square, which is actually coming out as 4. That means directly my answer will be A. But if you want to check for the other options also, you can substitute. My B option is going to become 4 minus 4 whole square plus 4 plus 2 whole square is equal to 16. Well, that is not correct. The value will be equal to 36. So B is not the right option, which we already know. Coming to the C option, it's saying 4 minus 4 whole square plus 4 minus 4 whole square, which is equal to 0, not equal to 8. And the last option D is going to become 4 minus 2 whole square plus 4 minus 2 whole square. Value will be equal to 4 plus 4, that is 8, not equal to 12. So the right answer for the question will be option A, right? And what you have to do? Well, you have to just find image of point about the line by directly applying the formula or by the method which I told you earlier. Clear? Okay, so this is going to be the answer. Well, the next question is from application of derivatives, and guys, trust me, it's not at all difficult. Well, the question is saying if Rolle's theorem, you remember what is Rolle's theorem? I hope you do. It's saying that if the Rolle's theorem is holding or it's true for the function fx, which is a cubic equation x cubed minus ax square plus bx minus 4, while the x is lying in the interval 1 to 2, such that f dash 4 by 3 is 0, then what is the ordered pair a comma b? That means I have to get the values of a and b. And for that, we have to recall what are the conditions of Rolle's theorem. Well, if Rolle's theorem is satisfied by the function f, it has to be first and foremost condition is continuous. Here the cubic equation, we know already polynomial is continuous in range 1 to 2. Next thing is differentiable, which is also true. This cubic is differentiable. And the third condition is that f of 1 should be equal to f of 2. This is the third condition. And if these three conditions are true, we can say that f dash, the derivative of the function at any point c, in this case it's 4 by 3, is 0, and 4 by 3 definitely is lying between 1 to 2. Clear? So these are the three conditions. Now, since it is already continuous and differentiable, I have to apply definitely f of 1 is equal to f of 2. So that is going to give me one equation in a and b. And the next equation can be formed when I write f dash of 4 by 3 equal to 0. Isn't it? So that means I have to apply these two conditions, form two equations in a and b, and solve to get the answer. Isn't it? Easier one? Perfect. So let's start solving. We have this condition already with us. So quickly, starting with f of 1 is equal to f of 2. So my f of 1 will become, when I put x is equal to 1 in this cubic, which is 1 minus a plus b minus 4. This is equal to f of 2, which is going to become 8 minus 4a plus 2b minus 4. So here when I collect a and b, I'll get 3a, this minus 4 has got cancelled, is equal to b plus 7. Let me take this as my first condition. And then I have one more, that is f dash 4 by 3 is 0. So for that, when I write f dash x, it's going to become 3x square minus 2ax plus b. And when I put x as 4 by 3 to make f dash 4 by 3 as 0, it's going to come out as 3 multiplied by 16 by 9, which is going to become 16 by 3 minus 8a by 3 plus b is equal to 0. So my second equation is going to come out as 8a is equal to 3b plus 16. Now we have to just solve for a and b. So I'll multiply my first equation by 3 and directly subtract. So when I do that, I'm going to get 9a minus 8a, which is a, is equal to, I'll get 21 minus 16, that is 5. So my a value is 5, and when I substitute it in 1, I'm going to get b is equal to 3a, that is 15 minus 7 is equal to 8. So my ordered pair of a comma b is going to become nothing but 5 comma 8. Now tell me, was this question difficult? No, it wasn't, but for that you have to remember the Rolle's theorem and the conditions associated with it. Clear? Perfect. So the answer will become B. Well, in this question, it's saying if the curves x square by a plus y square by b is equal to 1 and x square by c plus y square by d is equal to 1 intersect each other at 90 degrees. That means these two curves are orthogonal. Which of the following relations between a, b, c and d are true? Now guys, first of all, if my curves are orthogonal, they are intersecting at an angle of 90 degree. That means angle between the tangents or angle between the normals at the point of intersection has to be how much? Well, that has to be 90 degree, right? So this is the condition we are going to apply. Clear? Perfect. So let's take the intersection point for the curves as x1 comma y1. So what we have seen, that angle between tangents is 90 degree. That means my tangents are perpendicular. That means if I find slope of tangent for first curve, let's say as m1, and slope of tangent for second curve as m2, I have to just apply the condition m1 n2 is equal to minus 1. And slope has to be found at the point of intersection x1 comma y1. Clear? Okay, so quickly differentiating the first curve, it's going to be 2x1. It's going to give 2x1 by a plus 2y1 by b multiplied by y dash is equal to 0. So from here, my slope of tangent, that is m1, will come out as minus bx1 by a y1. Similarly, when I differentiate the second curve, it's going to become 2x1 by c plus 2y1 by d multiplied by y dash is equal to 0. Here my m2 is going to become minus dx1 by cy1. And when I actually put this in my m1, m2 is equal to minus 1, it's going to become b dx1 square divided by ac y1 square is equal to minus 1. Or I can further say that it's going to become somewhat like x1 square by ac plus y1 square by bd is equal to 0. Clear? Understood? Perfect. Let me take this as third equation. Now since I have to eliminate x1 and y1 because that I don't know, I have to apply one more condition, that my curves 1 and 2 has point of intersection as x1 comma y1 because that we haven't applied till now. So how do I apply that? Well, I'll just put x1 comma y1 in both the equations and equate them because the constant is same, right? So when I do that, it's going to become x1 square by a plus y1 square by b is equal to x1 square by c plus y1 square by d. And let's bring x1 square and y1 square to one side. So it's going to become x1 square 1 by a minus 1 by c plus y1 square 1 by b minus 1 by d is equal to 0. Further, this can be written as x1 square by ac multiplied by c minus a plus y1 square by bd multiplied by d minus b is equal to 0. Let me take this as fourth. So now if you compare your third equation and your fourth equation, all the terms are same except this c minus a and d minus b. So that means I can say directly that my c minus a should be equal to d minus b, or further this can be written as a minus b is equal to C minus D. This will be the relation between A, B, C and D. Is this clear? I would say this question was on a bit moderate side, but what you have to remember is that whenever two curves are orthogonal or they intersect at an angle of 90 degree, condition is that the tangents or the normals are perpendicular. You can directly find the slope of tangent by differentiating as we have done here, and then substitute in the value or in the condition m1 m2 is equal to -1. Understood? Perfect. Option will be B, which will be correct.